Since they're so mad, let's make them even madder. Let's spin back to what I said last year, because I don't know what happened to my video, but here it is again. The way that Black America treats Africans is completely uncalled for. Whether it's Nigerian, South African, whatever brand of African you are, the way that you are treated in America by your skin folk, who clearly are not kin folk, is ridiculous, and I'm talking about it. Yes, I'm gonna talk about it. You laugh at the food, you laugh at the accent, you making foo-foo, get the line jokes, laughing at foo-foo, talking about the food is nasty. First of all, your taste buds in America, a lot of the stuff in America that we eat is banned in other countries. African food is not nasty. They're not funny looking. And all of that go get the line jokes and, making a noise every time you see them, that's childish. Because had you been not taken from that land, had all of us still been left there, we would all still be speaking the same language. And it's true. That's why you got so mad the first time. I bet you don't do nothing to this video. Whether you African American, you have African parents who came here and whatever, since they want to say, and that's another thing. Anytime, now they will claim our lineage, they'll claim native lineage, they'll claim every other thing. But when you say some of y'all came from Africa, they get so mad, like you really just called them the N-word, and you did. When they hear the word Africa, they think, did you just call me the N-word? They treat it the same way. Africa is a beautiful place to live, and Africa is probably the only place that you can go and start over and be accepted, treated like kings and queens. So not too much on Africa. The African disrespect by Black America needs to stop. And yes, I'm talking about it. Clock that.
Black Americans feel judged by Africans. Africans feel disrespected by Black Americans. So today we're going to ask the hard question. Why don't Black Americans and Africans trust each other? And more importantly, can they ever change? Watch these videos and I'll be back with the commentaries.
Do not trust no African. At this point, I do not know who need to hear this, but African nationals, do not trust them. I always give African nationals the benefit of the doubt, and they always proving me wrong in one way, shape, or form. Why African nationals are here talking about they're glad their ancestors sold slave? They're glad their ancestor sold them by the ship. They're so proud that the ancestors sold the useless ones. What the fuck you on the internet talking about? If you're arguing with FBA, talk about FBA bullshit. Why you telling people that? And you want to see how much likes these pussy will get. You want to see how much likes they get. And I'm sure it's other African liking those bullshit, because there's no one from the Caribbean or the South America or the North America in their right mind, or Europe that are in the Arabs who will get sold in their right mind to like those videos. So I know all those thousands of likes, I know it's African liking it. African. I'm not saying you won't have exception, but right now, I'm saying do not trust no African at all. They're willing to sell you out for a buck. They're willing to sell you out for a dollar. Not saying no other one don't sell you out, but trust me, someone on here glorifying what their ancestor did by selling slave. Selling someone to another race to control their own flesh and blood. Are you coming here in this modern time, knowing all the history, telling me you're glad your ancestor do that? Yo, go suck on the mother. You are not different from FBA. You are the same thing as you are worse than FBA. You are 100 times worse than FBA. Shame on you. Shame on you for overreaching. Why are you talking about FBA and you overreaching like that? You're talking to everybody else who are involved in the slave trade, which is over several dozen countries. So, next time, all me have to say, learn from my experience. Me have experience with African nationals, and I'm telling you, do not trust them. They're materialistic to the max. They're more materialistic than you in a more wealthier country. That me I tell you. You see, African nationals, they're more materialistic than you who is in a wealthier country than where they're coming from. So, for example, someone coming from a place that the chance of you making $1,000 is like 1 in a trillion. Is the same, and you come from a place that the chance of you making $1,000 is probably 1 in 1,000. Yeah, they come here and materialistic more than you. When I say materialistic, they value material things more than you. They look at everything in dollars. They count everything in dollars. They put money over you. When you talk to them girls and all that, they always I wonder where you do money and all that, money wise and all that. Do not trust no African, yo. And the reason why I make this video is because some pussy will come on the internet getting thousands of likes talking about they're glad their ancestors selling slave and glorifying it.
Black Americans feel betrayed
by Africans. I think to a certain extent. I think historically, one of the problems with Black Americans is that they still haven't accepted that they're just American now. You know, because in the U.S. it's like you're African American, you're this American, you're that American, And our relationship with the idea of being African or as African descent has always had, like, I think, mixed feelings for a lot of Black Americans, because Africa has always been portrayed, to the west of the world in a certain way.
Child, this whole Afrikaners thing, moving to the United States or seeking refugee status, has had me so perplexed all day, and I just thought of something. You know how when we speak about systemic or institutionalized racism here in America, white people tell us, if you stop talking about it, it'll just go away. You Black people are just perpetual victims. Nobody who is alive today is suffering from anything that had to do with slavery, anything that had to do with systemic racism. All you got to do is work hard, pick yourself up by the bootstraps, essentially. But when it's a person of a certain hue and they're claiming racism, it's taken seriously. So serious that they're being chartered across the world from another country and given a care package. So you mean to tell me that there are millions of Americans who are severely disadvantaged, can barely afford rent, don't have $400, $500 to their name for an emergency, but we have the funds and the wherewithal to fly some white people over into our country and give them essentially reparations? Bitch, you gotta be joking. And I'm just gonna say this, it's either one or two things that's allowing this to happen. One, Elon Musk has something insane over Donald Trump's head, and Donald Trump is afraid for this information to come out. And I would go as far to say that it probably has something to do with this most recent election. Remember, Elon knows the voting computers so well. Or two, they're gonna begin ushering white people from around the world, regardless of their nationality, because they see the declining birth rates. No one is going to be able to convince me that this was not a racist, white nationalist move by this current administration. And with that being said, as always, it's your girl Day. Feel free to comment your thoughts down below.
I'm a Black American, and I know for a fact that my ancestors came from West Africa. It's sad to see how much hate Africa gets. So why are you calling yourself Black American and not African American, or just West African, first and foremost? Second of all, claiming where you're actually from, where your lineage is from, and where you were born doesn't mean that you hate anything or anybody. That's like me being born in Brooklyn, New York, and someone saying, no, you're originally from California, because of the stories that I heard from 500 years ago. The white people that absolutely hates our guts, that oppressed us, that redlined us, that raped us, that ate us, that stole from us, that lied to us. We see them in videos lying on us clear as day. You really think they're going to give you a clear depiction of what history actually is? Okay. And people saying, no, you're not from Brooklyn. You're from California. You from Inglewood. Like, huh? The indigenous people in Sentinel Island, they're jet black. They've never been colonized. Indigenous people all over the world were deeply melanated, first and foremost. Second of all, they're super, super dark. People can't even get on that island because they go in the war. They killing them dead as soon as they try to set foot on that island. Now, if they were to be colonized by fake clear folk missionaries, do you think that those clear folk will go over there and tell them people that they're African when they've been over there for we don't even know how long? Because you can't even really study those people like that. But that's their homeland. That's where they're from. Or what about the Pacific Islanders? Pacific Islanders look a lot like us. A lot. The people from Fiji, the indigenous folk over there look a lot like Black Americans. Like, now, are they forced to call themselves African Phoenician? Do y'all go to Jamaica and say you're African Jamaican? Do y'all go to Barbados and say you're African Barbados? I don't even know how you say it. Was it Bajan? Y'all don't do that to anybody but Black Americans. It's very ironic. And then to say that it's hate, because literally I'm saying all of my ancestors, I knew my great-great-grandmother. She's never told me anything about coming from Africa. All of the stories she told me, they all was in the South, originated from the South. Her mother from the South, their mother from the South. Nobody was ever got off a boat. And wouldn't there be some type of folklore, some type of proverbs that even the Africans, the West Africans will be passing down, warning their children of the white man that comes on a boat and kidnaps them by the millions? How come we ain't never read no story about that from the Africans or heard no proverbs about that from the Africans? Believe what you want to believe. You said you know, so I'm going to guess that you've done your genealogy the right way, which is through the paper trail, like going to the Library of Congress, looking at birth certificates and death certificates. Now, if you've done that and you've traced your lineage back to West Africa, kudos to you. Claim who you are, rep your set, but don't be manipulative. Don't try to gaslight and emotionally manipulate other people because they don't identify the same as you. That's okay. We can all be different. Black people were all over the world at one point. Spread love is the Brooklyn way.
So you're calling me a xenophobic because I don't want other groups of people coming inside my culture, pushing their narratives and their own people inside of something that was started for Black Americans, like the Essence Festival. I mean, shit. If that's the case, you might as well call me the xenophobic king. Because listen, I believe in elite division. I believe in separation, delineation, all of that. This whole narrative that Black people got to all come together as one collective group, don't nobody do that shit. So I don't know why they trying to enforce it on us. Look at Asia. The Japanese don't like Chinese. There's no problem. They respect each other's culture. You motherfuckers don't know respect and get mad when you get called out for it. Listen, I'm not no Pan-Africanist, and I don't believe in everybody being one. But if there is one story from Africa or one leader from Africa that I do admire, or I do like his teachings, is Shaka Zulu. If you paid attention to Shaka Zulu and his story, he believed in division. He understood that all skin folks ain't kin folks, and he led with that. And while everybody thought he was crazy for thinking that other tribes of blacks weren't one group of people and everybody had their own agenda, when he died, sooner or later, they came to find out that the fall of the empire came from bringing all groups of people inside their tribe. See what I'm saying? So as a black American, I'm taking that same teaching, taking that same example, and then applying it to my people. Don't let all the motherfuckers in here. Not all of them deserve to be here. So call it what you want. Xenophobic, racist, prejudice, all that shit. I'm all of it. We here now. The delineation is here. Whether you want to call yourself FBA, ADOS, it's happening. And don't feel bad, because these other groups of people, they're not coming to America to help us. They're coming to America to do what they did at Essence Festival, which is take over the things that we started, the things that we built, and they want a part of it. They just want to take. See what I'm saying? But haven't you noticed everything that they touch that we built, it starts to fall apart? Right. So we got to be like Shaka Zulu. Cut them out.
No, let's talk about the real reason they prioritize American content. Number one, y'all always in our fucking business. Number two, y'all are always in our fucking business. Number three, y'all want to be like us. Come on, let's call a fucking spade a spade. Number four, y'all bite off our shit. Y'all just fucking little mini sons of us. And yeah, I'ma say it, yeah, I'ma start some shit, I don't care. Cause y'all some fucking haters. Y'all some fucking American xenophobic haters. Fuck you.
For your information, we Africans don't want to be like you Americans. We don't want to be like you. Forget about the few people who want to go to America and live the American dream, whatever, in quotes. American dream, my foot. We don't want to be like you. We don't want to go to school with a bulletproof bag. We don't want to drop our kids off in school and be so scared all day, being so afraid for their safety in school. Because you know what? Any junkie American can just go into the school and start right? And I checked your profile and I saw that you are a police officer, and that's quite disturbing, because for a police officer to come and rant about other people that they want to be like Americans, and there are other videos where you were attacking Africans, South Africans, and saying that who are they, like you don't care about South Africans, you don't care about Africans. And when I check, have you looked at yourself in the mirror? You're black, you're African. Whether you are born in America or whatever, anywhere you go, people will see you and know that you have African genes in you. Your ancestors are Africans. So what are you going to do about that? And in America, there is police brutality, and you are one of the police who are brutalizing people. You know, you are so brainwashed that you see yourself as a white person in a black skin. You know, maybe you should identify as someone who is trapped in the wrong body, the wrong color, the wrong complexion, right? You don't want racism, but you always complain about Black Lives Matter, racism, Karens. But you are doing Karens to Africans. You are the Karens, the black Karens to Africans. So what is this? What are you talking about? For the most part, we Africans, we are respectful, we are hospitable, and we are hustlers. All we want is just to have a better life for ourselves, right? And you are out here dragging Africans, dragging everyone that they want to be like Americans. I mean, the TikTok ban was really necessary. We were all hoping that other people will be seen, right? We don't want to see Americans like you. You know, you just come here, you rant, you insult people, no valuable content, no substance in your content. You're always dragging people, insulting people, bashing people, and for the most part, you're bashing Africans. You're bashing Africans. You're African. Do you know that? Let me tell you, you're African. Deal with it. You are African, and there's nothing you can do about that. Because in America, they know you as Black American. Why do they use black in front of your American? Because that's your tag. You live with it, you die with it. You were born with it, you die with it. Deal with it and leave Africans alone. Get out of our business. We don't care. We don't care about Black Americans. Let's all just live our lives and thrive. What's your problem with Africans? Like, I've seen a lot of you Black Americans. Retarded. All you have is the accent. Gonna. What can you offer to be a police officer? What more can you do apart from being a police officer? And I feel like people have to pay more attention to you. They have to find you, because you being on the street as a police officer is a threat to human life. You are not there as a law enforcement officer. You are there as a racist law enforcement officer. You are there as a xenophobic law enforcement officer. This is dangerous. This is not safe. They have to take that uniform away from you. And if you're ready for combat, why did you block your videos so that people cannot share, people cannot download, people cannot stitch, people cannot do it? Why? Leave the video open. Leave your comment section open. Let's deal with you. You are such a disgrace to the black race. No matter where you are born, your ancestors are from Africa. I'll keep telling you all these black Americans on here, these AAs. I don't know what's wrong with you all, but you will get it. You will definitely get it. Soon you get it. I'm African and I'm proud as an African. You know, when I meet people, oh, where you from? I'm from Africa, deal with it. Or get lost. I don't need you. Why do you feel that I need you? I don't need you. I don't need anything from you. I am African. Go your way. I go my way. I do my shit. That's why you cannot stand Africans who come to America and are thriving and are working so hard. They are not coming to America to come and cry racism. Nah. They're coming to America to come and hustle and look for a greener pastures for them. Why are they coming to cry racism? You spend all your time crying racism, crying Black Lives Matter, blah, 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 blah. You forget to focus on yourself, to build yourself. And when Africans come and build themselves, become successful and thriving, it becomes a problem to you. You cannot stand that. You're jealous.
Look, I'm about to not mind my business, but I don't care. I am so enjoying this beef. I don't know what happened. I don't know why y'all Americans went to do that to yourselves. But now the war between Africans and Americans right now, what is going on? Why did you guys go do that to yourselves? Why did you guys... Yo, these Africans are coming for y'all. Obviously, I'm not American. I'm Canadian. But, yo, y'all started something that I don't think you were ready for. And there was no purpose to start that. There was no purpose. Excuse me, I just ate. Your girl is digesting. I wish it was African food, no lie. Okay. But yo, the Africans are not holding back in the comments to die for. Like, to die for. My best part is, funny enough, Americans are no longer African Americans. Like, y'all are no longer African Americans. What happened to the African in your American? What happened to that? I never understood the African American thing that Americans like to call themselves when they're literally Black American. But whatever, I'm not gonna get into it. Like I said, I'm not African. But you know what? I am enjoying this beef right there. Y'all went and poked the wrong bear. Y'all went and poked the wrong bear. And I'm here for all that. See, I'm here for all of it. Y'all, when you guys see a video, an African reply to an American, or stitching something not very smart that an American says, go in the comments. Go live your best life in the comments. You will not regret it. Y'all went to poke the wrong bear. Wap kon George. Wap kon George. Wap cherche problem. Wap kon George. Y'all should have just leave them people alone. Leave their food alone. Leave their braiders alone. Just leave them alone. Y'all enjoyed the cheap price for the braids, no? Now y'all wanna... Americans, only you would do something like that. I'm here for all of it.
No. Let's talk about the real reason they prioritize American content. Number one, y'all always in our fucking business. Three, y'all want to be like us. Come on, let's call a fucking spade a spade. Number four, y'all bite off our shit. Y'all just fucking little mini sons of us. And yeah, I'ma say it. Yeah, I'ma start some shit. I don't care. Because y'all some fucking haters. Y'all some fucking American xenophobic haters.
Imagine going on a tangent while you prove exactly our point. Main character syndrome is real, and some of you suffer a lot from it. And it's not rocket science that America as a country has heavily politicized themselves on the rest of the world because they are inherently imperialistic. You would know this, but you choose not to. But instead you go on this tangent about how we hate Americans, we hate you guys, we want to be you, we want you. We don't want any of that. Look at the state of the United States of America and look who's leading your country. We don't want that. You can keep that.
I don't think we should start the Diaspora war that there's a phonetical difference between African Americans and Africans. I don't think we should start that. I don't think we should do that. I think we should put this topic to bed. I think we should tuck it the fuck in, roll it the fuck up, put it in the trunk, bury that bitch, all right? And then flood it and turn it into a lake and never touch it again. Because I don't know if I feel like this is not we shouldn't be having some conversations in public spaces. We shouldn't be having some conversations at all, but damn sure not on this clock at. Because I think it's pointless. Why do I think it's a pointless conversation? Why do I think it's a stupid conversation? Because when I start surrounding up Haitians, do you really think they're going to go up to him and be like, hey, what do you think, Tom? Does he look Haitian to you? You know, because I saw on TikTok they were talking like, you know, Haitian noses look different than African-American noses. Think by the width of his bridge, that's an African-American you can go. Or do you think they're just going to round you up because skin color? Do you see why? Like, why are we doing this? Why? Word is escaping me currently. But it's a thing they did like way back in the day when, you know, slavery was legal. You see what I'm saying? They would be, you know, remember in Django when he said, look at the back of the skull and you see how it has like 3 little bumps? That's how you know it's African-American skull because, you know, that, you see what I'm saying? I don't know the word. There's a fancy word for it, but I feel like what y'all are doing is along the same lines of that. Somebody who know what the hell I'm talking about, put the word in the comments if you know what the word I'm trying to say is. But like a long time ago, You see what I'm saying? They use science to sit and say black people stupid. You see what I'm saying? They use science to say, like, you see why they noses is this way? Because they're stupid. Because it's so they breathe. That's why their lungs are bigger, because their nostrils are bigger. Like, you see how stupid I sound? Like, that's how stupid y'all sound. Because at the end of the day, to everybody else, all of you look black. You just look black. They don't give a fuck if you're Somali. They don't give a fuck if you're Ghanaian. They don't give a fuck if you're African American. All they gonna say when they start rounding all y'all black asses up is, that's a nigger. That's a nigger.
Somebody need to talk to the Africans. And whoever had that conversation with them, I hope y'all versed in economics and try to explain to these people they're not going to win this. And they think they is. Y'all seen the videos? I saw one, the lady was saying, we are going to go to war. We are going to go to war. And if an African American tries to come into your business, you turn them away. You know, we could be assholes and come to your business and let you turn us away because of our race and then sue you. This is America. We can sue your ass for that. They don't even understand how this shit works. But you know what? It's cool to see y'all sticking up for yourselves, even though it's the wrong reasons and against the wrong fucking people. Shit, because I done seen videos of y'all over there in Africa. Chinaman got y'all in the whole kung fu fucking pickle. Pop, 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 pop. Or they got a Chinaman with a stick beating the shit out of y'all. So it is nice to see y'all sticking up for yourselves, even if it is for the wrong reasons, even if it is for the wrong fucking, against the wrong fucking people. But at the end of the day, y'all need to realize the black dollar, especially within y'all businesses, means a lot. All we asking y'all is to stop fucking playing with us. You would think we asking these motherfuckers to go back to Makoko. Google Makoko.
My African friend explained to me that a lot of Africans don't like African Americans, and that's simply a difference in culture. So let me explain how I discovered this. My friend and me were sitting down at an IHOP at about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I invited him out. He said, "Thank you. I appreciate you. You are very kind." I said, "No problem, bro. You know, I appreciate you." He said, "So you are from Africa, and why you don't have the accent?" I said, "Well, I've been here long enough to where I kind of adapted a Midwestern accent, and I kind of lost the African accent." He said, okay, I understand, okay." So we were talking, and he said, "Oh, look at those hood rats over there." And I said, "The hood rats?" And there's a bunch of black people just being loud and rowdy. And I said, "Well, they're not really hood, it's just they're us. They're black people like us." And he said, "You know how it is." And sadly, I knew exactly what he was talking about. You see, he then began to explain to me, like just in general, what I had thought and known for quite some time. He said, "Africans do not know African Americans at all. They do not like them. Let me watch this." He said, "Hello, brothers." And he signaled the hood rats that he called them over there. He said, "What's up, cuz cracking?" Then he said, "Do you know who the African president is?" And he says, "Nah, I had no idea. I don't know, Shabuki, like. And he like did some clicking noise, like, "Oh, that boy from like." And he was like, "Yeah, thank you, brother. You all right?" He said, "Yeah, I know my African history. I'm from the motherland. Peace up, word up." He says, "Word up." See, they are idiots. I'm like, "Oh, yeah." He starts explaining to me about how they don't know African history. They only know African American history. That's all they know. It's a difference. He said American Africans are not good. And I'm like, "What do you mean not good?" He said, "They're not us. They're not cultured like us. They're not us." And then I asked, I said, why would like some Africans come over here because they want to be American? Well, they get American money, send it over to their family. Asians do this too. And there's a bunch of Asians in Africa for some reason. And there's a little subsection of Asian people, like Chinese people in Africa because there's no population laws. It's a whole thing. He was explaining all this lore to me. I didn't know anything about this. I was confused. I was like, "Are you sure this is real?" And he said, "As far as I know, this is real. This is what I know. I go by what I know. That is what I am." Then he started talking like homophobic and all this other stuff. And he said, "Well, think about it. Most older black people here even are homophobic. You know when they say, 'Is he this?'" And I said, "Okay, that's fair. I'll give you that. But, you know, the newer generation is coming out and changing that." He says, "No, newer generation African Americans majority are homophobic. Same with Caucasian people. Caucasian people. They are also homophobic." And I said, "Okay, all right, okay, fair." And I was just learning how his perception was, and it got me thinking, why is it that way? Why don't Africans like African Americans? Can someone explain that to me? Why is that?
Can we just talk about how African Americans and Africans don't even look that different?
I used to wonder, what was this obsession with all of these Africans from different countries saying that Black Americans look African all the time? And I always wondered why they get so offended when we say we can tell that there are, you know, people from that continent, from Africa. Like, we can tell. And then they go, what country? And they get like really butthurt. But when you guys say that we look Black American, we don't say, well, what state? Because essentially our states here are the equivalent of some of your countries, like the sizing, the type of people that live there. Like, you can usually tell a Southern person from a Northern person, and definitely a Midwest or a Western person. Like, obviously a lot of people have migrated across, you know, the country, but for a lot of the times you can kind of tell. I had no idea until I did some further research that the reason why you guys get so mad when we say that you look African, well, let me let an African tell you.
you look African. It's such a simple and succinct statement. And for Africans in the diaspora, it's a very sensitive one at the same time. Like, I know, maybe not for everybody or maybe just for me, but like, because subconsciously Africans associate like looking African with like the struggle, you know, a bit of the past. So like, we rather someone discover that we are African than, you know, like just know, because then you just see the African, we know the African look is a strong look, like, you know, subconsciously, of course, that's what we've seen, is this sort of victory, roots, you give us free. You know, so we associate that. So when someone else says like, "Oh my God, you look African," it's like, "Hey, why? Can you see? Can you see my past? Can you see the struggles? You know, it's a, brother, why? Why do I look African? What about me showed you African? You look African is very different. But go up to an African today and tell them just from jump, hey, you look African, and see their reaction. The first look is concern, then it's like, oh yeah.
What is going on with Africans between African Americans?
None of your business. In other words, black folk business is black folk business. To make it simpler, don't worry about the drama happening in a certain community that you're not a part of. We as black people, especially Afro-Americans, have been addressing the diaspora wars happening within our community, and that's for us to mitigate. And even if you're just genuinely curious, you asking that question is lighting a fire that we're already trying to extinguish. There are white people in the United Kingdom who don't care for white people in the United States. Inquire about that. There are people in France that don't like the way people in Canada speak French. Inquire about that. Across the world in different diasporas, there are many differences that groups have that stem from misunderstandings, but that's for those groups to figure out. And contrary to popular belief, there are a lot of Africans that don't have a problem with African Americans and vice versa, so don't generalize. And that's coming from an African American who's actually been to Africa, hence the shirt. So if it's not your community, don't worry about it.
What is wrong with Black America? Black America, what's wrong with y'all? Like, y'all on they necks. When I say y'all on they necks, y'all on they necks. Y'all got the Jamaicans coming out saying, don't put us in the middle of it. You got the Haitians, like they undecided. Like, you got some Jamaicans saying they stand with Africa. Then you got the ones that said don't put them in this. They literally came over here to make their money, send it back home and mind their business. Then you got the Africans making videos talking about some aunties. So sorry. They literally making videos saying auntie sorry. But when I went on Twitter is in an uproar too. They like literally playing all the young people videos about the deploy awards. Black America is eating their ass up. Them kids are clowning. Like, but you gotta read the comments. Like, I be in the comments. I'm messy. I like to start a pot too, but they. Oh my God, them comments should be against the law. Like, y'all as Black America should not be able to talk to people like that. And it doesn't matter what those. They wilding out all of them.
I don't understand why Africans hate their own people. Like, just because we live in a different country doesn't make us any different than y'all. I mean, sure, our culture is different, but genetically, we're literally the same. And you want to know what's crazy? African people copy American culture, and Black people want more of their culture. Like, really? We're literally going in separate directions, and that's what's dividing us. This stupid ignorance on both sides needs to stop. Like, it's honestly so dumb, I can't even believe I'm ranting about it on TikTok right now. Just love everyone. Understand both sides. It's that easy. And honestly, this is something I can rant about all day. If you guys are interested, follow me and let me know you want more.
I just wanted to remind everybody that the United States is 4% of the entire world's population. That means 96% of all living human beings are outside of your country. I promise you, your experiences in Virginia are not the truth of the universe. I promise you, my experiences in Florida is not the truth of the universe. I promise you, your experiences when you went to university in California is not the truth of the universe. Many times, as people who live in America, we fail to understand how truly massive the world is and how it definitely does not revolve around us. And whenever you actually had to acknowledge someone else's existence, you were still the main character. People do food a lot differently and it works for them. People do marriage a lot differently and it works for them. People do prisons a lot differently, crime a lot differently and it works for them. People do work a lot differently than it works for them. But why am I wording it like that? Because if it works for them, that means it could work for you. Learn somebody else's language. Learn how other people understand time, understand sex, understand money, understand community. If you give yourself the chance to explore the world outside of you, not only will you learn more about yourself, about the people around you, but equally as importantly, you'll learn more about this weird blue and green ball that you've been put on.
So somebody told me to chime in on this South African beef with the American Black individual. Look, let me tell y'all something. Black America are envied. We're envied. Across the whole world, we're envied. People hate what they don't understand, but they also hate what they can't be. So a lot of people fight and they claw and they literally put in all this effort to be who they are not. We don't have to do that. Like, we are uniquely crafted. Everybody across the world wants everything that we do. Whatever we put our hands to, it prospers. Whatever we put our hands to, it succeeds. Whatever we communicate, whatever we put out there, everybody starts jumping on it. We have a key and everybody hates it. So look, this is nothing new. South Africa is acting just like the rest of the world. South Africa is acting like the Europeans. South Africa is acting like the Chinese. South Africa is acting like the Australians. South Africa is acting like South America. South Africa is acting like Canada. They're acting like everybody in the world who see what we do and start jocking. I don't have any hatred towards anybody who see what we do, love what we do, and accept it. The issue is that after they identified that down in Louisiana, they had a parade or something like that called the Zulu parade, South Africa just blew up, mad, angry. And they stopped talking about the parade and start talking about all the things they hate about us. They talked about how we were put in slavery, how we get unalived by police officers here in the United States and all this other stuff. So they got real diabolical. And they let us know that it was stemmed from something more than just the Zulu thing. There's some envy. We went through some of the most treacherous situations and still here. Our ancestors, the individuals that they traded off, we made it. We're still here. And despite the odds, despite all the things that were stacked up against us, all the redlining, all the tape, blowing up our civilizations, all that stuff, despite all of it, we're still here. Put us in any field, industry, or profession, we're successful. We have plants, co-ops, espionage is happening in our communities, and we're still successful. Regardless of how all these individuals see us, they jocking. They want what we possess. Whenever there's envy and strife, all these other things creep in. What we really need is a level of unity. What we really need is us coming together and saying, hey, this is what we do. This is how we do it. South Africa, what do you think happened? Like, you trade people, sell people off to the United States. You think we don't have any culture? Don't think we have any connection to the diaspora? Yeah, just because you live on the continent doesn't mean that we don't have any investment in that continent or the culture. Look, the beef with South Africa is wild. Most cases, the term South Africa is in our mouths because we over here blasting Elon Musk, doing all this crazy stuff in our government branches, creating havoc right here in the United States. And so when we talk about South Africa, most of y'all are represented by Elon. Y'all ain't even on the radar like that with us, man. We ain't even coming at y'all like that. In fact, we will accept virtually anybody. We'll love on them, we'll support them, we'll lift them up, we'll educate them, we'll cultivate them, we'll build them up, we'll strengthen them, we'll give them food, we'll put clothes on their back. We are the most caring, cultured individuals on this planet. The term black means the absorption of all light, meaning that we can receive every variation of man because that's who we are. We support people. We love people. Like, lay off the beef. If y'all want to lock in with us, lock in with us. Lay off the beef. If y'all want to socialize with us, man. Start conflict with somebody else. Y'all talking about unaliving us. There's so many individuals being unalived right there in South Africa, and the data says it. Like, don't talk about slavery when y'all been doing it to y'all own people. Some of y'all are the reason why we're here. Did it to our ancestors. So let's not talk about slavery. Let's not talk about unaliving individuals by policing, because that's the same stuff y'all dealt with. We're a little bit more similar than what you think. So when a parade pop off and we're honoring a culture, man, just respect that. Yeah, we look a little different and we do things a little bit more differently, but our culture is what the world thrives off of. Our spending power is what the world thrives off of, especially right here in these United States. When you talk about consumers, when you talk about individuals who are able to be crafty, when you talk about individuals who can go into the marketplace and produce, when you talk about athleticism, when you talk about all these different dynamics, you talk about the African American, the black man and woman. We honor our African brothers and sisters. It's just odd that we're experiencing this kind of kickback from South Africa over a parade. Y'all, let's get real.
Yo, I got a question for black people, right? So if you're not black, you could just keep scrolling. Or if you want to just be nosy, you could just sit here. But what do y'all call yourself? Do you call yourself black, African American, what? Because I was just watching this video, right? You know, it was this white dude talking about black people and black culture and all the rest of that stuff, right? And in the comments, the girl was like, thank you so much for not calling us African Americans. And I was like, and she had a lot of likes to that. And I didn't understand that at all. I mean, I am very much black and I'm very much African American. So I didn't understand what the problem was. So somebody help me, inform me. And look, for the record, I know my nationality is American. I know my ethnicity is African American. And I know my color is black. So I had those three things. I just want to know what y'all call yourself.
So welcome back. You watched all the videos, and if you tell yourself the truth, all you can see in these videos are pure misunderstandings. And some of those ideologies on people's heads, trust me, were pushed. Those narratives were pushed by us, by people to us, right? I would particularly say they were pushed by our enemies to us, right? So we misjudged, we misunderstood ourselves, and a lot of things are happening out there. If you ask me, I'll be like, there's no need for this quarrel. There's no need for this fight. All I want is unity. Yeah, I would love the Africans and Black Americans to come back and reunite again. I think we should all wake up and stop thinking about the past, forget about whatever have happened. Because if you notice now, there's a movement that's happening. A lot of Africans are beginning to, watch Malcolm X, King, Martin Luther King and Black Panther parties and all of that. A lot of things are happening. Even the Americans now, the Black Americans are now listening to Afro musics, right? What do you think? Don't you think that unity can be really, really achieved, right? If you ask me, I would say, can Black Americans and Africans really trust each other again? Comment your honest opinions below. No judgment, just truth, right? Let's keep the conversation going because healing starts from honesty, right? It starts with being honest. Our healings starts with being honest. So let's share, subscribe for more deep content, deep dive content on Black culture, right? Power and unity. This is Global Gist with BJ, where the diaspora speaks. I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.